It's the Makin Moves Podcast, featuring Darren James and Tyler Alexander.
I love these guys.
Because they're funny, they're entertaining.
Talking everything about mindset, money, and motivation.
That's what I'm talking about.
Real facts, real truth, and real estate.
Come on, let's go.
All right, folks, how are y'all today? Over here with our Makin Moves Podcast with Darren James and my good friend, co-worker, Tyler Alexander. What's going on today, Tyler?
Oh, nothing much, man. Excited for our second shooting.
Yeah.
Ready to get this going and getting this shot out before we roll out next week to St. Petersburg, Florida.
Man, what a trip that's going to be, huh?
I know. I'm stoked, man. I've never been to St. Pete, so
Me neither.
been to places all over there, but heard some awesome things about it, so I'm excited.
What's going on down in St. Pete? Tell the listeners what's happening over there.
So we have our first. It's our first. It is the LPT conference, the Grand Prix. So it's a little. It's gonna be a 2-day conference, mastermind type deal. We're gonna go there. I think the mastermind's gonna be a Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're gonna fly in on Monday, kind of hang out, try to find some hibachi somewhere there. Hopefully,
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, they have some Benihanas.
That is a guarantee.
Absolutely.
We're gonna find some hibachi.
Hopefully, they have some Benihanas there. But if not, we'll find something and then hit the event for 2 days, hang out, learn some stuff. Yep. Get the mastermind with a lot of the top realtors. Not only with LPT, but I know there's some other ones coming in from other companies that are gonna be talking. So that'll be awesome. And then have a little winter circle party on that Thursday, and then watch the races for the first time. Never seen a Grand Prix race either. So
Me neither.
It's gonna be a first for a lot.
First for both of us.
Absolutely.
I'm actually speaking over there, so they asked me to speak on one of those panels over with LPT. So that's going to be kind of interesting. I have no idea what I'm speaking about. I have no idea
You're
the
just gonna
questions. Hey, that's what I'm known for, right?
That's right.
Make it happen, right?
That's right.
But yeah, it's kind of cool, man. So how was the last week, man? What's the last week in real estate been like for you?
So it's been good, man. We're we've seen a dip in the interest rates, so that's something definitely positive. Anytime they go down, the market kind of sees a shift. I think we kind of saw this coming, back towards the end of the year last year. Things were dead for so long when interest rates were in the 8% range, and we're seeing that. We're seeing springtime coming around, which is another great time it's when everyone gets in the market. Really last week when we saw, I think they went down 0.25 last week. So things looking good for this week. Got 2 pre-approvals this week going on, and one hopefully a refi here coming soon.
The whole office is busy, man. All the agents are busy. Justin's busy. Tanya's busy. Chris is busy. You're busy. Everybody's busy, man. It's crazy right now.
Absolutely. It's picking up. And, I think it's, the people that stuck it out, and I know we talked about on the last podcast, learning to pivot, having to pivot in that market last year, coming from that 2021 market. So I think, the people that did not pivot last year are probably out of the business. And the ones that did pivot, changed their marketing. Now they've prepared themselves for this market that we're about to see. So
yeah, most people, and I just posted it before I got here on my Facebook, a deal where, it was a little clip from a motivational speaker talking about how most people give up before they ever really get started. They give up too soon. And I find that a lot in the real estate industry. You're about to go through, a lot of people get to a pinnacle where they are going to see a breakthrough, but they quit before that breakthrough ever happens. And I think that's you got to get back to the grassroots of things. Again, we talk about it all the time at the office. It comes down to 3 things to make you successful in any business. And that's mindset, skill set, and daily habits. And a lot of people, they believe they can do it, but they, if you ever follow, there's a guy that does TED Talks a lot. His name is Simon Sinek. If you follow Simon, he says that a lot of people, when they go into business, they begin with, how do I do something? And that's where most people quit, is because they can't figure out how to implement. We always know that the difference between success and failure is implementation, but they forget about they start with the how instead of starting with the why, and that's what Simon talks about. You really need to start with the why, and once you figure out the why, you'll learn the how. And before they get to that point, most people quit before they ever get started or reach that plateau. And that's what we find.
Yeah, and you can see it. When you talk about the mindset, skill set, and daily habits. Most realtors out there, especially producing realtors, they have the mindset and the skill set. It's the daily habit that I think is what separates the 1%ers from everybody else. Is everyone can have all this motivation. You can watch these motivational videos. You can listen to this podcast. You can do all these things, but it's the daily habits is what separates everybody, right. And you have to have daily habits in this business that you have to do every day, when it comes to lead generation, when it comes to following up with SOI, stuff like that. It's stuff that you have to put in this business every single day. And I think that's where we see the separator from the top producing realtors to, the non-producing realtors is the ones that just don't have that daily habit in them. So I'm hoping, with this, Mark, I know a lot of the agents we have on the team and a lot we have in our downline, they're very motivated. They listen to us and they implement everything that we say. So I'm excited for them. And I'm hoping, this podcast can reach some agents that maybe, don't have daily habits out there, that want to learn about daily habits, want to learn what we do in our business to implement. And so I'd be happy to help them, in any way we can.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So you've been in business 3 years now. Yep. And so you have consistent daily habits that have helped you be as successful as you are. So what are a couple of those that you do every single day?
So my number one daily habit, every single day, I'm at the office at 7:30 in the morning. And I do not start doing anything till 8 o'clock. So, I see a lot of people, come into the office, since I've been on the team, and they'll get there at 8:03, 8:04 and just start calling. And there's just no structure, there's no system, So I get there at 7:30, and for 30 minutes, I just prepare myself. I'll get all my database pulled up. I'll get my list that I'm going to call for this day that I'm going to reach out to, have my notepad next to me. And when I'm done with all that, I normally have about 10 or 15 minutes left, and I'll, play around on social media, just something just to get my mind, kind of ready for the day. And then start calling at 8 o'clock. I don't ever walk into the office at 7:59, sit down and start calling. That's not prepared for your day. So that's my daily thing. And every day, starting from 8 o'clock, from 8 to 10, that's my lead gen time. Every single morning, I don't schedule inspections. I don't schedule showings. I don't schedule closings. I don't do anything in that time. That's time for me to grow my business. And, you can look at that 2-hour window as multiple things when it comes to lead gen. I'll focus calling my CRM, following up with clients that I talked to the day before, sending them houses, going through my database of people that I'm actively working with, trying to find them houses and all that. And that's kind of my 2-hour window that I get everything done in that end. And my goal is 200 contacts a day. That's what I try to make, whether it's a phone call, a text, an email, something. It's 200 contacts a day, 1 contract a week. And so with doing that, you do that for 2 hours from 8 to 10. And then after that, I'll spend 1 hour strictly working on, instead of working on my business, I work in my business. So I'll work on, building out social media flyers. I'll work on SOI. I'll go on my Facebook, and I have a lot of my houses listed on Facebook Marketplace. So I'll reach out to some people that message me, seeing if I can contact them. Maybe if that house didn't work, if there's another one out there, stuff like that. So I just spend an hour on stuff, not necessarily outside of real estate, but outside of just sitting down and calling people and talking about, houses. So I work on, people don't understand, man. And you get on Canva in an hour's time frame. You can build out a month worth of social media posts every single day. It's so simple. I can get on there for an hour and build out 30 posts. And that's I can post every single day for 30 straight days, or I can post twice a day for half a month and then go do it again on day 15. So that's kind of what I do every day. And then after that is really kind of the follow-up part. Once I contacted all those people that morning, the ones that have responded, now they're kind of starting to respond to me. I'll try to find them houses, stuff like that. And then after 12 is when I schedule all my appointments and my showings, my inspections, my closings, all that is kind of when I do in the afternoon. So, and it's, when I started it, a lot of people are like, oh my God, you're calling people at 7:30 in the morning. No, I'm not calling people at 7:30 in the morning, but 8 o'clock, this, from, you used to be W-2 back in the day. So, 8 o'clock, everyone's on their way to work. What is a better time to call somebody when they're in their car, they have nothing to do, and they're talking? Same thing with calling them at 5 o'clock on their way home. And so when I started doing that, it only took me a week. And once I had it in a week, it was now it's so weird if I don't do it. So sometimes Fridays, because I'm a big LSU baseball guy and I got season tickets, so they have 2 o'clock games now. So I have to kind of shift my schedule for Fridays because I go out to LSU. And so it's weird, when I don't, if I have something to do that morning, and I'm not at the office at 7:30, it's something weird in my body because I'm so adapted to being there at 7:30 and starting my day at this time. Same thing on the weekends. I'm up at 7 o'clock on the weekends without an alarm. And I never thought I could do that, ever. And but it's just it's gotten in me to where it's now a daily habit. It's not a chore to be up there and do it. And it's kind of like the gym, man. The hardest part is getting there. And I know you say that all the time when it comes, I know you're very dedicated to the gym. Same thing when I tell all these agents, I'm like, the hardest part is getting to the office. But once you're here, then you're dedicated. And if you do it for a week, 2 weeks, it's going to be a system now and it's stuck in your head. It's no different than you working at Academy Sports and the boss says, hey, you got to clock in at 8 o'clock. Well, guess what? You're going to be there at 7:45, ready to clock in. So that's kind of what I do on my daily. I've done that for 3 years, and it's definitely paid its dividends.
Yeah, that daily regimen means everything when it comes to that. You have to. It's a system in your business. Think about it. Just about every part of your life has a system. Think about the way you wake up in the morning. You wake up in the morning, the alarm clock goes off. What do you normally do? You normally jump in the shower, brush your teeth, whatever your regimen is, right? Use the restroom, whatever it is, right? So that's really a system. And so you have to implement that same system or a system similar to that to where you can get business done. And that's where a lot of people struggle in this business. Like for example, me personally, you said you get up in the mornings and you get there at 7:30 and you have a certain regimen that you do between 7:30 and 8. So me, I prepare for my day the night before. I always have. So I look at my calendar between 9 and 11 o'clock, and that's when I'm doing things. And then normally I'm at the gym roughly between 10:30 and 11:30. It depends at night, and then I'm up again in the morning. So even though you say I sleep till 10 o'clock at night, whatever.
I think you do. But
yeah, I know. I understand.
It's just me.
I know. I get it.
It's just me. But I mean, going to that's another awesome thing about real estate, man, is like, no one runs their business the same. Right. But at some point, you have to run your business similar to people that are successful. And it doesn't have to be the same thing. It doesn't have to be the same systems. You don't have to do the same thing we do, but you have to have some type of system. Yep. Whether it's if you like sleeping until 11 o'clock, okay, that's perfectly fine. But just know from 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night, I guess you're going to be your lead gen time. You have to have some type of daily system where you know every single day what you're going to be doing and how you're going to do it and how you're going to approach it. And so me, I know you say you prepare your day the night before. Like, I'm just so used now, like I know exactly what's going to happen and what I'm going to do that, I can get to the office and say, okay, like calling these people, going through this. And so, but like I said, that's also something about real estate, man, is that everybody can run their business differently, but you have to have some type of system on how you're going to run your business to be able to be successful, especially as new agents. And we got a lot of new agents on the team, and I talk to a lot of new agents, got a lot of new agents in my downline. And, just like I tell them, man, I'm like, look, most of them are coming from a W-2 job where you're told you have to be here at this time, you have to leave at this time and stuff, and it's accountability. That's something you don't have in real estate. Like, there's no such thing as accountability. You don't have a boss. You don't have anyone to look up to. You're me incorporated, and no one's going to tell you to be here at 7. No one's going to tell you to call 100 leads. No one's going to tell you that you can't sleep in until 11 every day. And so it's all self-accountability. It's how bad do you want it? Me, like I said, when I first got licensed, kind of told my story the last podcast, like I had no money. I mean, I was poor, and I was like, okay, it's a fight or flight mentality, from here on forward. And that's when I started getting in that system. I'm like, I luckily through college own my own lawn business, so I knew what it was like to be self-employed and generate your own income. And so I had that experience kind of going into real estate. So I knew, like, no one's going to hold me accountable. No one's going to hold my hand. Like, I'm here every single day. I'm unemployed every single day. That's the thing about real estate. You're unemployed. There's no guaranteed money, but it's not just going to come to you. You have to have a system in your business.
Right, I agree. Kind of like not having any money. Right, when I first got started in this, I was in law enforcement, right, and got into doing this on the side. Wife wanted to be a stay-at-home mom type deal, and I figured out that I had to get my PhD first. So I did. I got my PhD. I was poor, hungry, and determined. And that's what happened, right? And so it was true. And so I ended up doing this for 6 years part time, and ended up selling 52 houses a year part time. To when April 28th, 2006, I walked out the door and took on this career full time. So it's been systems all the way through. And talking about what you mentioned earlier, you mentioned a system in your business called Canva. That's a great tool for anybody out there in any industry. Whether it's real estate, whether it's local leaders podcast, you can build a lot of different things on that platform. Anything you can really imagine, you can do. You can design, and somebody told, one of our team members told me this. You can design T-shirts on that, and they print it directly from there. You can order as little as one. I'm like, man, that's awesome. I never knew that. So,
it's really awesome, and it's easy. Like, they give you ideas of what to do. I mean, you can go in there and search a template, search real estate, and it gives you real estate templates. You just go in and fill it out, and you can Google, 10 real estate tips. Yeah. Okay, and now you have 10 posts. Take one real estate tip, post it on this Canva. Yeah. Take one real estate tip, post it on this one, and that's 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes is like, but it's like I said, it's just like reframing back to the gym and the office. It's doing it. That's right. It's getting there and doing it. Once you're doing it, it's easy.
It's discipline.
Yep.
It comes down to one thing, discipline. And any business also comes down to the 3 Ps, right? The people, the process, the product, right? And that affects the last P, the profits. Yep. And so you have to develop that, but the discipline is where it's at for real.
Absolutely.
No doubt. So I've had some pet peeves come up in my in my world here recently, and we all have our pet peeves in our world and our businesses and so forth. And one of my pet peeves, and tell me how you feel about this, is freaking showing feedback.
That's mine too.
It drives me freaking bat crazy.
Yep. That is mine too. The old not interested.
Yeah, not
That's
interested.
it.
What the fuck
Nothing
are you
else.
not interested?
Yeah, what are you not interested? Just tell me.
Yeah, tell me something. Give me something constructive.
Exactly.
That can basically help my people get that property sold. Or they're not interested in the price, not interested in the location, not interested in the paint colors, not interested in the floor plan. What are they not interested in? Don't just tell me not interested.
Right.
Tell me what they're not interested in, because if it's something that we can improve, maybe we can improve it to make them interested.
Yep.
And that is absolutely drives me crazy. But on the flip side of that, it never fails. The house is shown. 10:30 today. 10:31, my phone's ringing. You heard anything?
Yeah.
No, I
What'd
haven't heard. What'd they think? Like, come on, man.
Right.
No, I haven't heard nothing. I mean, and what a lot of people don't understand is that, no one wins until that house is sold, right? Nobody. The home seller doesn't win. The buyer doesn't win to get their new house. The agents don't win to get the property closed. Nobody wins until it's sold. So we're going to exhaust every effort we can to get that feedback. And what a lot of people don't understand is that it can take several weeks to get feedback on that one showing. Because think of it this way, right? This is the way I try to explain it, is that they have people who move in from out of state all the time, or move in from one parish to the next parish. They don't know where they want to live. They don't know the neighborhoods they want to live. They don't know, what's close to, what restaurants are closed, what shopping's closed, where school proximities. All of that comes into play. So it may take several weeks to get that feedback when they're deciding what's going on. So let's just say the house shows at 10:30, and that agent gives that feedback at 11 o'clock. Oh, my clients love the property. It's absolutely gorgeous. They're thinking about making an offer. Well, on the flip side of that, what does that do for the seller? It makes that seller think, oh my God, I'm about to get an offer on this property. But what that agent didn't say was that, hey, I got 5 more properties to show before we finish up these showings with this client, before they really make that offer. Now, what happens if on one of those other 5 showings, they like one of those other houses more than they liked yours that they've already given feedback on? Right. That sets you up for a situation where, giving you false hope. Yep. And so that's very important that the consumers realize that, this, and it's not up to the agent also. Everything is automated a lot of things are automated through our business, not everything, but a lot of things are automated through our business now, where the system that we use called Showing Time, and all the agents use it. And basically what it does is 1 hour after the showing, it automatically sends an email to that showing agent to say, hey, give us some feedback on this property. And if that person does not respond, the next day at the same time, it's going to send them another email, and it follows up with them anywhere between 5 and 10 times via email. And then after that 10th time, tell you a story about this. And back in 2006, I had a husband and wife. They were going through a divorce, and they used me to list the property. And the husband was letting the dog use the restroom on the house, so that came back in some of the feedback. He was also blocking some of the showings, declining a majority of these showings. So in the midst of all this, my showing records with another company at the time called CSS, Centralized Showing Service, that my records got subpoenaed by a court. And they said, hey, let me see the feedback on this property. And they basically were able to show where the husband was blocking the showings, all the feedback that was coming up to where he wasn't keeping the property up, et cetera, et cetera. And so now, it's very easy for, I call up the client and say, hey, they didn't like the property, they're still making a decision. But no, I don't even do that. I want it to come directly from that agent, as opposed, just in case my records were to get subpoenaed again.
Absolutely. And it's, I've kind of gotten into a system now where, when we're at the showing, when we're wrapping it up, I'll pull up the showing time right there, because you don't have to wait for it to send you the feedback. You can go in there and fill it out. And we fill it out right there in the kitchen. Like I go over with them, say, tell me everything y'all didn't like about this property. I'll send it. You got to be so thorough, because, I'll look at it on the listing agent side, and, our clients are paying us, to market their property and sell their property, but they're also paying us for the feedback that they're getting. Yeah. And so when I get my client text me like, hey man, what do they think about the showing? And then I got to respond and say, I don't know. They don't respond to me. To me, it looks dumb on my part. And it's almost like the buyer's agent that didn't fill out the form makes me look stupid. Like I don't know what they are. And so I'll call them, and someone will text me and say, oh no, we're just not interested. Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, can you fill out a form and send that to me so I can get it to my clients and show them that you're not interested? Another one that's one of my biggest pet peeves too is on the showing time, and even on the feedback form subject, is when they fill it out and says, very interested, rate this listing 1 out of 5 best. It says, your opinion of the price, just right. And it's like, offer coming this evening or whatever. And they submit the offer 30,000 below asking. Oh, it's like, I thought the price was just right. Like if it's too high, but the price was too high in there. Like, I just don't, that's one thing. Like, and not that it's a pet peeve. It's almost like it just makes me laugh. Because like I'll send my clients the form, like, okay, they're going to submit a full price offer is what it seems like. And they come 30,000 low, and then I call the agent. I'm like, hey, I'm just curious, on the feedback form, y'all submitted that the price was just right, and you came in 30,000 low. And it's like, oh, well, they got to thinking. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, I see what went on there. So it's stuff like that. But it pet peeves are just other agents in this business. That's all my pet peeves, really. Yeah. Especially the biggest one that every agent can probably attest to is answering your damn phone. Yeah. That is the easiest and your number one job in this business, to answer your phone. Like, that's it. Simple as that. Answer your phone, answer your text. Like, I've had deals where I've worked with agents where I text them like, hey, are y'all going to submit this form to me or submit this addendum to me? And then 2 days later they respond like, yeah, it's in your email. I'm like, dude, Like, I don't care what you're doing. There's no way you were that busy for 2 days where you couldn't just pick up your phone and send me a text, say, hey, look, it's going to be coming. I'm waiting on my seller to sign. I'm waiting on my buyer to sign,
whatever.
stuff like that. Like, just communication. And that is the biggest thing in this business is communication, especially, communication on our part to our clients, but also, communication with that other realtor. That way it's a smooth process. And that's what lacks drastically in this business is, agents that just, after 6 o'clock, they're home. They don't respond to anything. They don't answer their phones. And so it's just, that's one of my biggest pet peeves is just please, for the love of God, answer your phone.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
I had one 2 weeks ago, matter of fact, one of my close clients called me up. He said, Darren, I want to make an offer on an investment property. I said, okay, sure. Wrote the offer up, full price offer, and tried to reach the agent. Didn't call me back. Texted her. Didn't return my text. Called her again. It took me 2.5 days to get in touch with her to find out. She finally called me back. Long and the story short, in the midst of all this, I called her broker. Her broker still has not, till this day, called me back. Unbelievable. How do you operate that way? How can you operate that way?
I don't understand it. I really don't. Like, it's, that's your business. I mean, this right here is your business.
That's
like,
right.
That's where all your business comes from. And every realtor's on their phone all day long. Like, and it's just, I can't fathom it because to me, it's so easy. Like, if I'm on the phone and an agent calls me, I'll send them a text. Hey, I'm on the phone. I'll call you right back.
That's
and
right.
I'll call them right back. Like, it's simple. It's that easy. Even in appointments, when I get out of appointments, I check my phone. I call everyone back that I was in an appointment. Like, and if I can't call them, I shoot them a text. Like, it's you're talking 10 seconds out of your day to do this. So that's why it's
professional courtesy.
Exactly. Like, it's not a hard thing to do.
No.
You don't need to be a $20 million producer to communicate. Like, it's very simple. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. To be honest with you.
Another one of mine is agents who basically don't advise their clients. In other words, the clients, they may sell 6 homes in a year. We sell a lot more than that, right?
Right.
And so the fact of the matter is that you're the professional. And so, you go and you get this inspection response. And when you get the inspection response, you basically move forward with, I want the entire inspection list done. Instead of, what we look at the 3 S's, of a home inspection: the systems, the safety, and the structure, and making sure the heating and air is working, the roof is structurally sound. There's no safety issues regarding carbon monoxide leaks or gas leaks or fire hazards, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, I've gotten one. I had one. It was a 72-page inspection report, and they submitted the whole thing to me. Like, here's the inspection report, fix it all. I'm like, come on, man.
I have
unbelievable.
That was one deal with me and you working together.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, it's, and that's the, when and I advise everyone when we go into inspections, I'm like, look, I just want to let you know ahead of time, okay? This list is going to be long. Every single inspection is, because the majority of the inspection, 15% of it generally is stuff that needs to be addressed, okay? And then the other 85% is the inspector's CYA. And so we need to go through and look at the stuff that's actually a problem that needs to be fixed right now. That light bulb that's missing, that's totally fine. You can do that when you get in the house. Let's work on the major things. The AC, the roof, the electrical, the hot water heater, stuff like that is stuff to focus on. And, if it is major deals, like, instead of us sending 72 items, let's lower it down to the 5 expensive items and submit that, because that's our concern, especially when it comes to, those concerns can be addressed on an appraisal. If you have an AC that's an issue, if you have a hot water heater that's not working, the house can't appraise to begin with, especially a roof. I know we've been dealing with that a lot lately with insurance. So those things, like you said, advising your clients that, like, hey, look, I'll let you know, and I do it for every single inspection. I'm like, don't freak out. I said, you're going to get a lot of stuff on here, okay? Because you got to understand, when this house was built, is not the same as it is today. But same thing with new construction. I mean, I have 2-page reports on new construction as well, but it's just because inspectors and home builders don't see eye to eye on certain things. And so, just because it's not an inspector's code does not mean your house is going to burn to the ground.
Oh, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
okay. Like,
absolutely.
And a lot of it, very common one is, the breaker panel, having the double neutrals under one bolt. Like, that is so, I get that on almost every single inspection, and they still do it on new construction today. And clients freak out and then with the whole breaker panel rewired. Yeah. I'm like,
Our houses that were built in the 1930s, 1940s have aluminum wiring. They want us to go rip out all the wiring out of the house and replace it with copper iron. Come on, man.
Yep, absolutely. It's all just advising your client, knowing what you're doing, and stuff like that. And like, when it comes to new agents that maybe don't have experience with that, get with your broker, get with your team leader, get with somebody who produces that you're with, and go with them on inspections. Get them to send you an inspection report so you can see what it looks like. Call an inspector, go get lunch with an inspector, let them sit down with you and go over stuff with you and explain their process. And that's, I was talking to one of the new agents the other day, and I'm like, man, they were asking me about like loan programs and stuff. and they didn't know anything about loan programs. I said, look, in this business, you have to do stuff outside of real estate to learn and grow your business in real estate. You need to go take the time to go meet with a lender and know all the loan programs so you can serve your clients that way.
Yeah.
Go sit down with a title company. Let him tell you about title work. Because I guarantee you, if we're sitting across this table right now and I asked you, hey, what does an owner's title policy mean? You couldn't tell me what that is. So what are you going to do when your client asks, hey, why am I getting charged $800 for this owner's title policy? And you say, well, I don't know, I'll call a title company.
Yeah.
That doesn't look professional, and it shows that you're a new agent. And that's one thing in this business you never want is for people to see you're a new agent. And so putting in that work to go and talk to those title companies, go and meet with those lenders, learn loan programs, go meet with home inspectors. That's what I did at the beginning of this business. I mean, how many people I met with at the beginning, just doing all my due diligence I can outside of real estate so I can better serve my clients, to where if someone comes to me and says, hey, Tyler, I want to buy a house, I'm like, okay, are you pre-approved? No, I don't even know where to start. I'm like, okay, well, are you a veteran? No, I'm not a veteran. Okay, awesome. Well, what are you looking at putting down? Are you looking for, the quote unquote first time home buyer's loan, 0% down? Are you looking for a more safe loan and a conventional, and just knowing all the loan types, how much the down payment is, how much the closing cost normally runs on these loan types. That's all stuff that I know now. Granted, it's through experience now, but at the beginning, it's just meeting with these people, like meeting with lenders and getting them to break down to me the process and sending me PowerPoints that I can send to my clients. And it's just extra stuff you do outside of real estate that helps you grow your business in real estate.
Yeah, well, you also got to make those connections.
Yep.
That's a key part. I mean, it's a contact sport, and the more connections you can make, the better you can provide a better level of service to your client. You're right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's just trying to, the main thing is agents just getting their mindset on. And I know that's, part of our podcast is, mindset, money, motivation. So, or whatever order we have it in. I think that's the order.
That's it.
Something.
It works.
They all three go together.
Right.
So, it's having the mindset that, okay, I'm going to dedicate to real estate. So I'm going to dedicate everything to provide for my clients, and so that's the biggest thing, man, is just taking the extra steps to do what nobody else is doing, and that's the best piece of advice I give to all new agents. I mean, even seasoned agents, if you're not producing a lot and you don't know a lot about all these loan programs, learn about them. Learn about all the new loan programs that are coming in. That way, if you have a client that comes to you and you don't know anything about the loan programs, guess what? There's 6,000 other realtors they can call if they don't feel like you know what you're doing. You're a professional. You're supposed to be a professional. Your goal is to protect them and making sure they're making the best purchase they possibly can. And so it's doing that separate due diligence to really separate you from somebody else.
Yep. Well, I heard not too long ago that about 2 weeks ago that rates are especially looking to drop again, coming in right around June of this year. So, got good projections coming for the rest of this year for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm stoked for that, man. I cannot wait. I saw something. I was looking on TikTok this morning, and I saw a guy put a thing up there, and it was comparing rates, and it was showing Q1 we're looking at 6.8, Q2 looking around 6.5, and then Q3 was 6.2, and then Q4 was actually in the fives, 5.8 is what the projection is now. Yeah. They can't project anything. We know that by now. They're just guessing just like we are. But hopefully that's the route it goes, and we do see them in the fives. But it's looking good. It's as bad as they were last year. It's kind of only uphill from here.
It's a blessing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember whenever for several years it was 5.25 to 5.75% for God. It must have been 10 years. I can't remember exactly how many years it was, but it was a long time. Rates stayed at those, and I mean, we sold a lot of houses during that time period. As a result of that, man.
I hope they get back there.
Man, I'm excited about St. Pete next week, and just excited about the future moving forward with everybody. Looking forward to providing as much value to people as we possibly can. Man, it's great being able to do this podcast and just share value. We're gonna have some guests coming up in the next couple episodes as well. So we got some good, exciting things coming down the pipe, step forward, and I'm just really excited about it. So
absolutely, I'm stoked, man. I'm ready. Get some people on here to provide some value other than us two. And just like you said, I hope we're helping some agents out there that are maybe struggling in this business or new to this business or looking for a change and want to learn anything like that. That's why we did this. We did this to to help y'all. This is more. I'm not going to say this is an agent centric podcast, but it's more focused on your mindset, your discipline in this business, how to grow your business in ways that you never thought was possible. So we're hoping this if this podcast just at least reaches one person that could possibly change them, then it's well worth it for all of us. So.
No doubt. Well, man, how do people reach you? I'm curious.
So if y'all want to get in touch with me, y'all can call me. My number is 225-955-0008. Very easy to remember. And if you call me, I'll send you my jingle. That way you can sing along with it. You'll never forget my number. That's my easiest way to get with me. Call me, text me. Just like we said earlier, I'm great with my phone. So if I don't answer, leave me a message. I'll call you back, whatever it is. And that's like I said, that's the best way to get in touch with me. Assuming same with you.
What's your name again?
Tyler Alexander.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right, Tyler.
Absolutely. And how about you, DJ? How'd they get with you?
Man, look, I'm Darren James, and I think you can see me on the billboards, guaranteed. You can go to darrenteed.com or agent225.com. I have both of those. And you can reach me on my cell phone, 225-335-7666. If buying or selling is making you sick, call 335-7666. Or agent225.com, darrenteed.com. We'll talk to y'all soon.
Absolutely.